Welcome to another episode in our Parramatta Career Mode series. We are in round 12 of the Telstra Premiership, and before we get into today's game, we've actually got quite a lot of changes to our starting lineup. So with State of Origin on the horizon, we've actually got a couple of players missing due to Origin selection. First of all, we'll go through the omissions, and we've got Blake Ferguson, Mitchell Moses, and Daniel Alvaro. All have been selected for the Blues. As for our starting 17 for this round, Bevan French has been moved to Michael Jennings' side, making way for Micah Sivo, who has been decent for us in previous rounds. Filling in for Mitchell Moses at halfback, we've brought in Jamin Salmon, I believe. I'm not too sure on the pronunciation of his name, but I'm pretty sure he's a decent young gun, I guess. Finally, filling in for Daniel Alvaro in the front row, Junior Paulo makes his way to the starting side, and Penny Terapo fills in on the interchange bench. As for our opponents, as you can see, are the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are being led out today by Greg Inglis. Seeing them being led out by Greg Inglis obviously indicates that he hasn't been selected in the Queensland Maroon squad. As for the Rabbitohs' position in the league, they are sitting right below us in 5th. First play of the day will be on the back of a South Sydney Rabbitohs error. As you can see here, they drop the pill, it gets scooped up by Moidoa, and we are going to start our set in the opposition 30. As we send it to Salmon, he sends it back inside to Manu Mau, who gets pulled down inside the 30. Second tackle, we've got Nathan Brown at first receiver, taking a hit up, finding space around the ruck. On the third, we send it to Dylan Brown from a standing start, gets a beautiful ball away to Sivo, and Sivo dives into the corner for our first try of the match. It didn't look like anything was on, but I guess we had a little bit of an overlap. I actually steered away from the set play. I think there was an inside ball set play that was set up, but I went to the left, but I ended up running off to the short side, and luckily it paid off in the end, as we missed the kick off Salmon and keep a 4-point lead. Back amongst it, third tackle in the set. We've got Salmon on the short side, who runs through a little gap here, makes a break for a brief second, but he gets wrapped up inside the 40. As we shift it down the line, Nathan Brown to Dylan Brown, another cutout ball to Michael Jennings, and Michael Jennings is going to get wrapped up on the 30. 2 tackles remain, and South Sydney give away a penalty for holding on in the tackle. A terrible time to give it away late in the set. On the first tier, as we send it to Dylan Brown, takes the tackle on the 30. The second tackle, we go out the back to Nathan Brown, tried getting the pass away, but it gets knocked by a Rabbitoh. We don't get the count reset, but we do inch closer to the try line. Dylan Brown on the left puts a beautiful grabber kick intended for Michael Jennings. Running onto it, scores our second try of the match. A beautiful set piece being executed here by this left side. Now that try right there was pinpoint accuracy, and for me, especially on Rugby League Live 4, it's a rare sight to see a grubber being kicked for another player. I don't know what it is, but the short kicking game in Rugby League Live 4 just doesn't feel as smooth compared to, say, Rugby League Live 3 and even Rugby League Live 2. That try by Jennings though did look pretty sick, and I'm going to try and work more on that short kicking game to try and produce more tries similar to that, and less of the cheesy self grubbers. As Junior Paulo delivers a beautiful short ball, a drawing pass putting Nathan Brown in the open field, and Brown's going to get wrapped up on the 40-meter line. Second tackle, it's Dylan Brown this time, sending it to Michael Jennings. Michael Jennings with the footwork gets around one defender, and he gets wrapped up 12 meters out. As we try and put together a little reverse play to no prevail. On the fourth, Nikore back inside to Dylan Brown, just testing that ruck defense once again. Fifth and last, and we got Salmon standing wide as we send it to Salmon, chips in, chases, and recovers it for our third try of the game, and Salmon's first try this season. A pretty basic try. Some terrible defense by the Rabbitohs, especially on the last tackle. 65th minute, 5th and last, and on the last, we accidentally put the grubber through and we're going to get wrapped up 20 meters out. My intention was to obviously send it to the corner. I was spamming the first receiver pass and ended up grubbering the ball. And it's going to be the Rabbitohs right now with the full set to attack on our 20. As Murray gets wrapped up on the first tackle. On the second, they send 2 cutout balls and continue to shift it down the line as Alex Johnston leaves Micah Sevo grasping at nothing. It was actually some pretty good play by the AI, getting it to their outside backs early on in the set as they take the conversion. And for some reason Adam Reynolds isn't kicking and it's their front rower Totola taking the conversions. Final 10 minutes of the match, Rabbitohs in possession. Looking for another try here as they go out the back and they then shift it out to Dean Britt and Britt takes the tackle on their 40. Third tackle, they play at the short side, send it back inside and Alex Johnston once again putting that footwork on display. They're pretty persistent with the short side play as Campbell Graham turns Gutherson inside out. A little directional change once again by the AI. I should have switched to Gutherson, but I kept control of Michael Jennings, thinking that I could wrap him up, but Campbell Graham, I was not expecting that kind of acceleration from Graham, and pay for it dearly with a converted try. 6 minutes remain. Can the Rabbitohs steal one? As they get wrapped up 12 meters out from their own line. On the first, they quickly shift it back to this right side. This time it's Talakai with the break. And the post-contact meters. Power being shown here as he gets wrapped up on halfway. They shift it to the left into the hands of George Burgess. And Burgess gets pulled down just outside our 40. Cameron Murray this time gets an offload away. Back to Burgess, who takes the tackle on the third. They get a quick play of the ball and they quickly shift it to Dean Britt. And it's not looking likely right now. Under 2 minutes, last play of their set. No Hail Mary attempt, no last ditch effort. They just send it down the throat to Bevan French. And that wraps up all the action in round 12. We walk away with our 8th win of the season and more importantly, our 2 premiership points. And we did it without a few of our key players. As always, if you want to participate in the comment section down below, you can vote for your 2 top performers of the match. And if you made it this far into the video, hit up that comment section with the hashtag OddSquad and slap that like button for more Rugby League Life 4 content or more content in general. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you later.